Should be popping off any second now. All right, here we go. All right, early key to pod in Luke's house. Gonna need a couple of those, I'm sure. Even if pod's a pendant, pretty sure it's got something most of the time. An early map check from Top Life, being 2 base pendant at Eastern Desert, and then a booster called Hera. Oh, okay. So what'll happen in a standard start is the uncle will give you some form of weapon to be able to get through the escape sequence. Sometimes it's a bow, it's a hammer, or a fire rod if we're really lucky. Sometimes it's terrible, like the Cane of Burna. But this time, the uncle just wants to keep it vanilla and give us a sword, which is fine. We're going to need one of those as well. Looks like we have a small key to Skullwoods also in the drop-down. So for those who may not be familiar, standard start is just like the vanilla game. We're going to start Link's house and then go through the escape sequence, rescue Princess Zelda, and take her through the escape into the sanctuary, and then the world will be open to us. So this should be around anywhere between a 5:45 and a 6-minute jaunt normally, unless the boots or a mirror shows up to speed things along. And what the runners are really hoping for is a little bit of money out of here would be great, but honestly, bombs is the big thing they're looking for. As a bottle, okay, that'll make Kakariko better. But bombs is what they're looking for, to be able to get those 3 items in the very back of escape and not have to come back for those. So you might see our runners farming a few enemies, trying to figure out what the prize packs are for some of that information. As we push through this opening scene, a little background on our teams. Top Life, with Great Name pending, from the Palace of Darkness division, went 10-4 during the regular season, while Chelsea Lynn is representing But We're Buddies from the Thieves Town division, and they were 8-6 in their division. But concurrently, But We're Buddies is up 1-0 after what I think was the cross keys just a little bit ago, which was quite the fiasco, I heard. Both our runners choosing to go for the 8-slash technique on the ball and chain guard. If you can push them up and then get within their hitbox, the ball and chain will just circle around you. And you usually can get those slashes in pretty easily. But if it goes sideways and you get checked by one of those ball and chain hits, it can get a little dicey. But both our runners executing it to perfection as normal and as expected. Both our runners were able to find the key to this dungeon necessary to get through the Dark Cross area of escape in the boomerang chest. So, map still standing, but there's a couple more items hopefully we can get out of here. And still looking for those bombs to be able to open up the very back of escape for those 3 items. I know the rats are usually a pretty fun farm place toward the back of the sewers, and hopefully they're in a different price pack. Maybe they'll have something a little bit better. Haven't seen too many drops, if any, so far from what we have had to kill. Oh, we did see a small magic, didn't we? I think on Top Life side. So, doesn't look like the guards or the ropes are going to be able to help with bombs. Yeah, seeing that blue rupee drop from that rope think that means there's no bombs in that pack. Oh, wait, maybe I'm wrong. Well, there's the map, unfortunately. So, yeah, the items... There'll be one item of something in the sanctuary, but the back of escape is going to be the thing that's really going to have anything. Yeah, and it looks like the rats are not in the great pack either. It doesn't look like there are going to be any bombs. Oh, okay, never mind. All right, yeah, that was my mistake. I knew there was one that had one bomb buried very deep in the pool, and Top Left was able to get enough kills to find it. Chelsea trying to push through these rats and find that same drop. And it's just going to be a couple short. Oh, no, in the mirror in the back. And a bow. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, saying this to all runners and myself included, because I missed it too. Know your drop, your prize packs and your drop rates, because this is one of those times where it's going to save Top Life a little bit of time, not having to come back. Yeah, that escape went from pretty boring to pretty exciting as far as items go very quickly. All right, our runners out of the escape. A little over 6 minutes, but considering how deeply they had to farm to try to find the bombs, not very surprising. Would expect to see both to the traditional go through Kakariko route without bombs or money. Any other route, probably not going to feel that great, except maybe Saha Eastern because you have a bow. But yeah, I expect to see a more traditional route for right now. Oh, and bombs in the tree pole. Excellent. Let's see if Chelsea thinks to check that. Looks like Chelsea's going to go ahead and forego the tree pole and just head into Kakariko hoping to find their bombs. So throughout Hyrule, and they change a little bit if you beat Aga or not, there are certain trees and statues that you can pull that will drop items. And those are set in each seed, but there's 3 different tiers. Tier 1 is if you only kill one enemy, it will have an item or a particular drop. Tier 2 is, I believe, if you kill 4 enemies but take a hit, or take damage, there's a different item that'll drop. And then Tier 3 is if you kill 4 enemies and take no damage, will be a different drop. Another pod key sitting down in Blind's hut. So in situations like this, you know, you're looking for money or bombs or sometimes even magic. You might get lucky if you can find those tree pools and remember where they're at. Ice Palace Small, also in the back of Blind's hut. With another one from Mizrameyer in the well. Alright, also finding that hammer. So lots of good items early, it seems. Oh, and a flute in the back of the well. Wow. Stick Kid packing some explosives. That's slightly dangerous and probably not safe, but Chelsea finally getting some bombs they can use. Hopefully goes back at least for that flute. The bottle merchant taking after their master Zora and giving us a great scam for just $1 for that 100 we spent. Top Life releasing the bird with their flute. As Chelsea goes back and tries to get some of these bomb checks, not that they have a few. Yep, responding to someone in chat. So, standard small key shuffle, we had a standard start, but now throughout the world, normally dungeon items are kept within their dungeons, maps, big keys, compasses, and small keys. But in this mode, we've taken those small keys and added them to the randomized pool. So those small keys for the dungeons could be literally anywhere. There is a logic to it that prevents some things from being in certain places and needing certain keys to beat certain dungeons, but for the most part, wherever you could go around and find a randomized item such as a sword or armor, you can now also find small keys. So it makes dungeon dips a little more valuable because like in Pod where there's 6 small keys, now there's a chance for 6 other items to be in that dungeon. And while I was rambling, we also saw the Master Sword sitting in the library, so our runners will be looking for boots a little more than normal now. Chelsea choosing not to go back and open up those bomb walls in Blind's Hut in the well. The one in Blind's Hut was just a small key to Ice Palace, which you probably could work around pretty easily. There's a GT key finally. But that flute in the back of well is something they're very much going to be missing for a while. I would expect they're hoping to find a glove to hit the back of Escape, or just hit Dark World Access and pick up that check on their way maybe to a Dark World portal north of CAC. Unfortunately, though, that is going to cost them some time, whereas Top Life can use the flute to just get around the world a little bit faster. Hey, the powder are hanging out underneath the water by the dam. That might be good for Chelsea to get them back to Kakariko, already having the hammer, making the magic bat check accessible. Right, our runners staying together, doing these kind of traditional and more casual checks as we go through. We've gone through Kakariko, now we'll explore through South Shore, getting the dam, Mini Moldorm, probably go over and see Ice Rod Cave as well. Not having flippers or even a Moon Pearl probably will see some fake flipper, but might skip some of it as well. Another pod key and a bottle full of green goo. Always nice to see your bottles early, and more importantly, half magic. Maybe one of the better safeties in the game. Pushing into Ice Rod Cave, one of the more easy to isolate checks being in the bottom corner of the map, so usually good to get this out of the way early, even if it's nothing. Yeah, Chelsea gonna go ahead and save and quit. Not having a Pearl to be able to fake flipper into the waterfall, and not having enough money for Zora. There's better checks to do right now. Top Life having the flute, though. Let's see where they want to go. Alright, back to Kakariko. Probably gonna check that magic powder right away. While Chelsea looks like they're going to head off to the Saha area. Going to stop off and buy some bombs, which is a great call, realizing they don't have any. Sometimes that the ammunition, like bombs and arrows, you're not quite paying attention, you're just used to having it, and all of a sudden you need it and don't. And the Moon Pearl and Magic Bat. So yeah, great early item. Great heads-up check by Top Life, realizing, oh, I've got the items for this. It's a quick flute back to Kakariko. I would expect when Chelsea gets back there that they'll include that check, but for now, just going to keep pushing through to see what they can find, while Top Life, using the flute, takes it to the mountain. Gonna go into the dark and save the old man. This is out of logic without a lamp, but being able to use the sword for its sparkles to guide you around, it's not a bad dark cave to do. While Chelsea heading to Saha's hut, finding another small key to Meyer and another one to GT. Alright, Chelsea, while she's over here in this world, gonna go ahead and dive into Pendant Eastern. Unfortunately, it doesn't have that bow from the back of Escape, so can't finish this if there's an item on Armos, but hopefully can just grab some of the items in the front, get something useful, and get out. This could end up being something useful. If there's something necessary, or something that leads to progression that's sitting in this dungeon, it might be something that Top Life puts off for quite a while, seeing how they have a little bit more access to the world. Like a hookshot. Alright, Spec Rock Cave doesn't seem to be having anything. Nothing on top either. Top Life can use their mirror to go ahead and get into the Tower of Hera. It is a crystal, but if the big key is fire locked, won't be able to finish it. Oh, and it has the book, so you can go ahead and check Ether Tablet. Hopefully we don't have to come back for this. Just some couch cash, not going to come back for that. Oh, with a fire rod sitting down in the cage chest. So, yeah, that whole fire requirement, not a big deal now. So, Top Life will be able to finish this dungeon. Oh, that's right. Never mind. I apologize. That's right. With small keys shuffled, not able to access the basement. So we know that the big key for Hera is trapped in the basement, blocked by the small key. There's ways around that with the hookshot, but as for now, not being able to do much. So go ahead and head to East Mountain. The bow was in the back of Escape, to answer a question in chat. Yeah, bombs were pretty hidden deep into a prize pack, but Top Life was able to fish one out, and so was able to access the back while Chelsea was not. Top Life working their way through Spiral Cave, the slowest cave without boots. It's just a miserable walk, but gotta do it to get to the items. Chelsea gonna go and do the out of logic big key chest in Eastern just to find a map. So only thing really in there was a hookshot, but it's a pretty good find for being honest. And just 50 bucks for the reward for the long trek through Spiral. Chelsea saving quitting back to Sanctuary, has plenty of bombs, so hopefully this will be their check back into Kakariko for their flute and also their Moon Pearl. Still waiting for that glove to be able to get the bow and mirror out of the back of Escape. It is possible to go through the front of Hyrule and do the entire back of Escape again to get to that check, but that is a long process. I would bet Chelsea's probably not super happy to see that that flute sitting there with their lack of bombs from earlier. All right, pulling the lamp out of the top of Paradox Cave. All Top Life is able to get out of there, but still useful. Right, Top Life looting to 5, but obviously not what they wanted to go. Yeah, looking to do 4 instead. Maybe heading... Oh, need to buy some bombs. Okay, so they caught on to the same thing. This goes back to what we were talking about before, about you're just used to having that kind of ammunition and bombs, and all of a sudden you go to use one on a wall, and oh, whoops, nope, I don't have it now. Chelsea mopping up their back of Blind's hut to grab their Ice Palace Small. Decides to save and quit. Probably thinking I have a hook shot, you know, out of Eastern. Might be something that's pretty buried. And I would assume, yeah, I'm going to take that to the mountain. Makes sense, but they'll do their mountain checks. Most likely we'll find their fire rod in the cage of Hera, and then also the lamp from Paradox. But yeah, gonna need to head back for that magic bat eventually. So our number of checks is starting to dwindle a little bit. I know we have Agina in the desert, and with the book we can get into desert. So there's items there that may be useful. Zora not in logic without flippers or glove. We can see what we're basically looking for: a glove for Dark World access, or at worst, boots for a sword, or a cape for Aga, already having the pearl. And then with 3 keys to pod already in the pool that's been found, with a hammer, lamp, and bow, it could be an interesting trip into pod if we're forced through Aga. So, still some interesting choices to be made. Alright, this is good for top life. Going to head into Eastern Palace, again with the numbers of checks dwindling, not having much of a choice, but it's going to find their hookshot in here, so that'll be a relief. Gonna make an MSU change back over to Chelsea. I believe this is Xenoblades, Xeno Chronicles 2, something like that. I don't know the Xenoblades saga or Xenoblades games that well, so. I believe in Eastern there was an item still left on Armos. So Top Life having the bow, we might see them finish this dungeon. Just in case, you know, to play against a potential ped. Let's see. Yeah, there is an item on Armos. So with that bow, might just go ahead and force their way to Armos Knights for that last item and to finish this dungeon off. If there is something there that's required, like a glove, this could be really tragic for Chelsea. Alright, Chelsea checking out the Ether Tablet, realizing, nope, never have to come back for this, while Top Life, nice D-boost into the anti-fairy circle to hit that switch to make the chest appear. Nice NMG strat there. But yeah, it does look like they're going to go ahead and finish this dungeon off. Has the lamp, has the bow, this is all in logic for them. So yeah, this is a nice change between the two runners as well. Chelsea already having that hook shot from Eastern is going to try to set up a Hera pot to get to the top of Hera and just finish this dungeon out. We'll only be leaving whatever is in the big chest, but if it's just a dungeon item, then it's nothing they have to worry about having to come back with a small key to get the big key and such. Alright, trying to use an older setup, trying to get that lineup on that just right. Yep, looks like they got it. Great job. So using that bomb to set up on just the right pixel, and then orienting their sprite in just the right way, we'll use that bomb to clip them at just a fraction into that pot where they could hook shot to the other side and pull themselves in. And just like that, it's like an elevator to the top for the flippers. Armos nice, just having 20 bucks, so not going to hurt Chelsea if they never go back and finish that. Alright, as Chelsea begins their fight with Moldorm, we're going to see Top Life head toward Desert. Have we already done the checks in the mountain? Probably going back up to Hookshot or Harapot for the Hera finish. Probably not too high on their list yet, but I'm sure it will be. Alright, and the hammer doing Tempered Sword damage. 3 hits, and down goes Moldorm. Alright, and there's all 3 items, so don't have to worry about coming back to Hera for the big chest. And there's your glove. But the first crystal on the board at 25.30 for Chelsea Lennox. Okay, yep, and we're going to see Chelsea head to the desert. Going to find their glove as well. We'll hopefully use that to check the back of Escape before just diving into the Dark World. But we do have Dark World access now. Oh, Chelsea going to go ahead and be thorough. Use that book to get into Desert and see what they can get out of here. Yeah, to reflect on something that's said in chat, Hera was a crystal and using Harapot was able to finish it, but those flippers are logically blocked by the Hera small key, which leads to the Hera big key in the basement. So, could be some interesting stuff there. Another Skullwood small sitting in Johnny Two Bomb's place. Oh, there's a good Master Sword, alright. Some money, some hearts, some more money. I've seen worse hype caves. We do know that there is another sword sitting on the library shelf, so should they find boots, can easily get to Tempered. Okay, we see Top Life going down to check the Bombos tablet. Just going to get this one out of the way to see if the book is worth anything. We know the Ether tablet was nothing. Chelsea going to grab their gloves. Yep. Doesn't look like the tablets were worth anything today. And didn't see anything immediately in Desert. That's got to be a slight breath of relief for Chelsea, because that glove easily could have just been sitting in the back of Escape, and they'd have to go through the entire sequence to get to that spot. So seeing that glove and being able to get those checks is probably going to feel pretty good right now. There may be a little stress worrying about the item on Armos after seeing this bow, but it being a pendant, hopefully they just put that off for quite a while until never. Alright, grabbing that bow and mirror. Gotta feel pretty good for Chelsea not having to leave those behind going into the Dark World. I don't know if we had a Dark World map check. I didn't see it if it did happen. But we've got a pretty good loadout to do some serious damage in the Dark World. Having 2 small keys to Skullwoods. I mean, you need 3 to make it a logical clear, but nah, who needs that? 3 keys for Pod with bow, hammer, and lamp. Lots of options there. I think Chelsea was thinking maybe doing Zora checks, but being a little short on money. Oh, looks like Chelsea is going to go ahead and finish off Armos. Maybe worrying about that item? Oh, there we go, okay. I wonder if they had it mismarked as a crystal at first, and then, like, took a peek at it and caught it. I don't know. We'll have to ask about that. Oh, great point from chat. I forgot they don't have the pearl yet. So maybe that's why they were worrying about maybe going to Eastern and checking the Armos for an item. That's a great point. Yeah, thank you, Ledith in chat. That's a good point. I totally skipped over they hadn't done that check yet. Chelsea trying to use a bomb setup to bomb herself into a hole to set up for the Houlihan. I wonder if they're worried about Zora now that they have the flippers and wanted to grab this cash to put that check completable. Alright, we have Top Life heading into what looks like the Skullwoods area, into the Dark World. Well, yep, Chelsea's going to use those flippers to, yep, check the hobo, and then, yeah, I would assume head right into the Zora area. This only works if, yeah, without the Hera small key to lead to a logical completion of Hera, this only works if something like the Hera small is on Armos and they just haven't got it yet. So, unfortunately, not going to yield them what they want. Could still yield positive results in progression, but not going to give them the moon pearl they're looking for. Nice bow. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, Brave in chat bringing up the gloves does make the Zora check in logic. So, yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, the gloves give you the ability to lift the rock near the potion shop, and then you can just walk through shallow water to get to Zora. So that does make this play a little more feasible, and it makes a lot more sense. The flippers just help you grab the other checks on the way. Here's our first TR key. Top Life pulling the single arrow out of Skullwoods. Very enticing. I'm sure they're happy to see that. So small key shuffle is one of those things that we were talking earlier about the dungeons being a little more enticing, and this is a good example where Skullwoods goes from just 2 checks to something like 5 having potential items. So you might see some the dungeon dips where you normally wouldn't early just because of the item density. Yep, see nothing interesting on the ledge and just arrows on Zora. That's not the answer they're looking for. Yeah, a couple rage slashes it looks like. I think Chelsea may have figured out where their pearl's hiding, while Top Life goes ahead and takes on Mothula. Excellent fight. A little banged up by the spikes, but got through it just fine. Pulling the Bombos medallion off the Moth. Alright, that's Top Life pulling their first crystal, right around the 3340 mark. Alright, Chelsea having their Moon Pearl and all the Dark World access. Let's see where they want to start. Top Life, go ahead and mirror, give us a pet check. Oh, interesting. Okay, so that is a small key to Skullwoods. I think that's the 3rd one. Which means the Mothula clear is logically blocked behind all 3 keys, which is blocked behind the pedestal and all pendant clears, which leads to Bombos. That's wild. Spotted something in chat. The pedestal was the 3rd small key to Skullwoods. Mothula is logically blocked behind all 3 small keys, and the item off Mothula was Bombos, which means it's a logical ped seed to be able to get the crystal off of Mothula. Now, our runners are not going to care about that. They're going to beat the Moth anyway. But it could be interesting for logical reasons if that Bombos is the access to one of our dungeons. It won't be Meyer, but it could be the logical access to TR, which could be interesting. Meyer, Greenpin, and Pod and Skullwoods both are red crystals. And we do find our last sword in the chess game, so gonna have Tempered Sword pretty easily just based on checks. But the boots could be leading to the gold sword if it comes up, and I'm sure both our runners are really looking forward to finding some boots soon. Alright, just 20 bucks on the bumper ledge. Not going to care too much about that. And it looks like our bottle was also in the C-shaped house. Bottle's pretty open today. So Chelsea, gonna go ahead and dive into Thieves Town. Doesn't have the small key, so could be leaving something behind. Finding the big key early. Top Life, gonna go ahead and check out Graveyard Ledge. One of those places that's really easy to isolate if you just don't fit it in as early as you can. Quake Medallion showing up in Thieves Town. There is a small key. It's a Castle Tower key, which our runners hopefully don't care about. Again, we were talking earlier about how keys are shuffled throughout, so dungeon nips could be a little more important. It is possible that Castle Tower is hiding something we need. Top Life, go ahead and mirror near the mountain back to the light world. Looks like they're gonna check, gonna check Lumberjack. None of the runners checked this as they went through earlier, which, you know, without having boots, not a problem, and small keys being what they are. But, yeah, just arrows. Not gonna need to clear aggro for that. Chelsea pushing their way through the hellway with no boots and no safeties. Go ahead and use that powder. Grab an anti-fairy, turn it into a fairy, give themselves a small refill. If you've got the safeties, you might as well use them, because dying is slow. Alright, Top Life going to push their way through the Village of Outcast checks. Going to grab their last bottle here. Hopefully goes down. Or goes over to the chess game and grabs their Tempered Sword. Oh, and it looks like by stunning that Zizak and hit him, we're going to learn that our stun price is full magic containers, which honestly is really nice. Could be really useful later in the game, too. Alright, Chelsea, having saved the maiden, going to go up to Blind's Arena and take on the boss while Top Life begins their journey through Thieves Town. So the blind fight is on somewhat of a script. If you do the same things every time and you know how it works, you can pretty much make this fight go exactly by the numbers, so learning to do the dance does help. Let that spin get off. Gonna get off just a little bit, but yep, grabs that last hit, no problem. Chelsea taking down Blind. Grabs a heart piece for their trouble. Shows us that there is a map in the big chest, so the small key of Thieves' Town not necessary, able to clean out this dungeon and never have to look back. Yeah, I won't be surprised to see them head north and just knock out Skullwoods while they're here. This seed, for the most part, was pretty forthcoming with a lot of really good items early. Swords, bottles, hookshot you had to dive into Eastern for, but it was the first chest. Bow and silvers. Silvers are on Hobo. Top Life hasn't checked that quite yet. But also hasn't finished Hera for their flippers, not having the hookshot when they went up there. But for the most part, a lot of our useful early items, not too badly hidden. A lot of early small keys for some late dungeons as well. But still looking for some of those hard-to-find items. Haven't seen the boots yet. Definitely want to have those. Mitts are going to be necessary. Looks like we're going to need an ice rod. So, still plenty of ways to go. Responding to someone in chat. So the sword difference is, both runners started with the sword from Uncle and got their Master Sword. Chelsea got their Master Sword from the chess game. But Top Life has already checked Hype Cave where another sword is sitting. So that was their Master Sword, and then got their Tempered out of chess game. We do know that the Butter Sword is sitting in the library. So, should boots show up in a convenient place, we might see Gold Sword today, but maybe not. Top Life had gotten their Moon Pearl out of Magic Bat a little bit earlier, and so was able to do Hype Cave and then work their way into Vu, whereas Chelsea, finding their Moon Pearl a little bit later, just went ahead and stayed in the Kakariko Vu area. So hasn't made their way to Hype Cave quite yet. Alright, dueling boss fights. Oh wait, nope, I'm sorry. I thought you went to the back. My bad. Oh wait, no, they did. Oh, did they get grabbed? Did I miss it? Oh. I was focusing on Top Life's beginning of Blind. But, yep, Top Life goes ahead and takes Blind down. Another great fight, and now they have their 2 crystals. Chelsea having to force their way through the back of Skullwoods one more time. Of course, Chelsea waits for the hand this time, and it takes forever to show up. Mothla being terrible as it normally is, just hovering at the top by the spikes. Mothla is undamaged by spikes. Spike damage does not affect this boss. So, anytime you hit them but bounce them into spikes, it kind of negates what you've done. So it's always a chore to get them to come down to where you can actually do some damage. Chelsea using some pause buffers to try to make sure they can navigate these spikes successfully. And there gets the last shot. Well done. Grabbing their Bombos Medallion and their 3rd crystal. Top left giving us a peek at the pyramid ledge, just seeing some bombs. And now going to use their mirror. Has one key to Castle Tower, knowing that we don't have to beat Aga for anything that's on Lumberjack Ledge. Going to grab these 2 checks. This could be pretty big. Just $5 sitting in the first check's Aga Tower. See if the second one has anything. No, just $25 sitting in Aga Tower. So if Chelsea never finds that Castle Tower key and then never does those checks, it's just going to save them a little bit of time. Oh, that was a little sketchy. That bounce back, throwing her into the hole, I think. Alright, top left look like they're going to go check on the catfish. Really putting some time into these one-off out-of-the-way checks. Could just be a time sink for nothing, but if it really leads into something that's just buried into a bad place, could really be a benefit for them. Does have the bow. Could maybe see a splash slate, maybe to check on the waterfall cave, but we'll see. Having defeated Armos has to manipulate those values just a little bit. And what do you know, catfish is terrible. What a surprise. Alright, we do see Top Life trying to do a splash delete. Went ahead and dropped some bombs into the water. There you go. So having defeated the Armos Knights sometimes will affect that Ancilla value. I don't necessarily know how. I just know that it does. So drops 2 bombs in the water to try to reset that value, then overloads the sprites on the screen by putting 3 arrows into the wall and dropping 2 bombs. The game, being perfectly programmed as it is, can only handle so many sprites and values on the screen that if you overload that, you can delete the splash when you jump in the water, and that's what the game checks for to see if you have the flippers. So overloading that value, doesn't have time to check to see if you have flippers, can go ahead and walk in the water or jump in the water and swim without them. So great job. Chelsea, yep, going to Graveyard Ledge, grabbing their Castle Tower key, see if they want to do anything with that. Top left going to head up to Zora, get their hot nothing. But these checks are now out of the way, this part of the world is out of the way, doesn't have to worry about it anymore, so worth it from that aspect, I guess. When I run, I like to be probably more thorough than I should be, so I can completely understand this. Chelsea, already being in the north part of the world and having flippers, going to jump across the river right here. Probably going to check the catfish too, for the same reason. There's no better time to do it than now. I'm right here. Alright, Top Left, where do you want to go? So, Top Left, flipping to 5. Gonna probably check out the pod area. We have plenty of items and 3 keys, so plenty to do in pod. Chelsea being fed the nothing from the catfish. Looks like they're going to walk out of this area. This could be try to hit the pyramid and potentially Aga Tower before going into the pod area as well. We'll have to see. Yeah, reflecting on something said in chat as well, there is one check at the front of Swamp Palace. Chelsea having those flippers does have that open. Without having the small key, you can't do the rest of Swamp, unfortunately. But having those flippers out of Hera does open up that one check, and it could be the small for Swamp. Oh, but there's the mitts in the front of Pod. Pod having a progressive item. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Alright, both our runners in Pod. Chelsea having... Did top left open the middle door and I miss it? Because I feel like both our runners should have the same amount of keys, but... Great bomb jump by top left. You don't see that one very often, but without the boots and being able to bonk back to that bridge chest, that was a great use of the bomb jump there. Oh, and Red Cane hanging out in Pod as well. So there's the big key in the Dark Rupee basement of Pod. I would not be surprised to see Top Life save that last key and just go finish off Helmasar while they're here. And hopefully never have to come back. Top Life using that menu buffer to set up the spot just perfect to be able to, do that bomb jump. That classic Pod bomb jump. Nothing in the big chest of any value, though. Gonna check out the Dark Maze here. Finds the bug net, so that's important. Gotta have that, right? And yeah, it does look like Top Life is going to save that last key and push through to Helmasar. Yeah, okay, so they did open the front door. Okay, I was wondering what happened with that, but... So since we had the wonderful discussion about key logic earlier in Skullwoods, Helmasar is blocked by 6 small keys, so killing him is not in logic until you have all 6. I promise you, there are very few runners in Rando who ever adhered to that rule. If you can kill Helmasar, you're gonna. You might leave some checks behind, and that's unfortunate. But yeah, you're gonna take what you can get off this guy. Especially being a crystal and being required, and a red crystal at that. If you've got the keys and the ability to do so, you're gonna finish him off. And with fun tricks like bomb jumps and going through the right side a couple times, you can actually get through with less than 6 and still full clear the dungeon. Chelsea working with that menu to try to get those half pixel movements in. Just gets it. Oh, wow, that was close. Well done. Alright, Top Life going to start their fight with Helmsar. Going to use some bomb strats to try to put some damage on that mask before pulling out the hammer. I've seen that strat used more and more lately, using the bombs to do some pre-damage before going for hammer next. But gets the mask off, takes a couple tempered swings, and yep, there goes down Helmsar. So Helmsar dropping our third GT key, but more importantly, dropping the second red crystal. And so, yep, that puts Top Life at 3. Seeing in chat that the hybrid bomb strat with Helmsar is slightly faster. Okay, excellent. Yeah, it might be something to pick up. So Top Life heading back to the Vu area, having the mitts now, maybe thinking about a Smith chain play. I'll welcome in the rating party from Mr. Ed. Thanks, Mr. Ed. We are doing a Link to the Past Randomizer Open League playoff match between Chelsea Lynn of But We're Buddies and Top Life from Great Name Pending. And this is a Pendant of Power match, and standard small key shuffle has been chosen. Hammer Peg's holding another key to TR. That's our second. If we could find a third, we might see our runners head up to the Dark Death Mountain and see what they can do in TR. Still missing the Ice Rod, but Ice Rod does have a tendency just to hang out in TR. Ooh, Chelsea having to use some pause buffers to avoid some damage there, but gets through it safely and takes down Helmsar. That was close. Alright, Top Life turning it, saving the Smith, but not really finding anything. Grabs their purple chest. We'll see what they want to do when they finish this this sequence. Oh, and bags the first shield of the match off the purple chest. That's got to feel terrible. Alright, Top Life going to head in. Looks like they're going to do a fake flipper. Probably heading into Ice Palace now. Having Bombos and Fire Rod, mitts, hammer, all the good things you could hope for. Tempered Sword. This will be an easy clear. And having one small key will just make the clear that much easier. There, Falling gets the setup. Chelsea hits it on the first try, but having the flippers probably makes it a little bit easier. So taking a look at our items right now, kind of trying to figure out what we need, taking logic completely out of the equation just for this. We may need ether, if that's the access point into TR. We need at least one more TR small, and we need the swamp small, and we need an ice rod. Okay. Desert Palace small key, probably not something they wanted to see. So it looks like Top Life is part of Team SpeedGaming, while Chelsea is just going to go ahead and go straight for the icebreaker. Gets a second try, great job. Yeah, I agree. The Desert Palace small key only links you to 2 items potentially, but at this point, if you're the runners, you know you're getting close. You'd rather just find it on the way. The less stops in independent dungeons, the better. So, just a blue pea in the U room. That's 2 of the 5 items we're looking for. And another little bit of divergence. Top Life's going to head up and do the drop down from this room, while Chissy's going to head over from the freezer room. Ice Palace is kind of funny like that. Everyone's got their own special way they like finishing this dungeon off, depending on whether you hit the switch, whether you don't, if you have a small key, whether you don't, whether you have the hook shot, whether you don't. It's a little bit of a mess sometimes, but I'm sure there's one ideal way, but this is another one. Find the way that works for you based on the equipment that you have and just clear it. And it looks like we found some vanilla blue mail just sitting and hanging out in Ice Palace. I mean, could be worse. 11 Hearts, our runners are pretty healthy and are obviously experienced and skilled enough to get past with just green mail, but I mean, sometimes Cold Stare is terrible. Sometimes bad things happen and you just want blue mail. So I think that's fine. Great fight by Top Life on Cold Stare, using that sword spin to push him up in the corner to get some quick free hits, and then just burning fire rod shots to finish him off. Well done. Grabbing their 4th crystal of the match as Chelsea drops into their fight. So Chelsea, having not gone to Hype Cave yet, does not have their Tempered Sword. So this fight, a little slower. Has to be a little careful here. Can't menu because there's something blowing up. Now they can. Gonna go ahead and grab that blue, pop it off, top off their magic, and I would assume just spam the fire out to end this. Yep, great fight. Great use of that potion. If you've got the safeties, use them. That's always the key. But Ice Palace not having much progression at all for us, but that's the 5th crystal for Chelsea. So it looks like our Mire access is Quake. We have that, so can get into Green Pendant Mire if we want. The Mire Shed having our last small key to GT, so we have all of those now. Top Life, who has not been into Desert yet, is going to go ahead and dive into here. Having that small key will have a little more of efficient time checking. Chelsea at the hour 5-minute mark looks like they might be going to Hype Cave. Yeah, Chelsea grabbing their Tempered Sword. Sure, they would have liked to have had that at least a little bit ago, but glad to have it now. And having that Desert Small Key out of Ice Palace, I believe that does put the pedestal in logic. The big key being behind the small key and having all the small keys to Mire. So, yay. Pedestals in logic for that last Skullwood small key you need. Also, gonna go and do the South Dark World checks here. I think that means Landmolus has the last item in Desert. I wasn't counting quite perfectly, but I think that's correct. Let's see, is Top Left gonna head into Mire? Looks like it. Again, we were talking earlier about the small key shuffle making some of the checks in these dungeons a little more appealing, having more options. Also doing there a lot of digs for pretty much nothing. So yeah, it looks like Chelsea's going to go ahead and do their Smith Chain as well. We know this really didn't produce much of anything, so we'll have to see what they want to do after this, as Top Life continues to push through Green Pendant Mire. Alright, and there's a third key to TR. So with some key stealing shenanigans and assuming we find an ice shot somewhere, TR could probably be finished unless they need Ether to get in. So it's a pretty good find. So while Chelsea checks on the Smiths and Top Life sits through this cutscene, let's take a moment to shout out our runners. Top Life of Great Name Pending and Chelsea Lynn of But We're Buddies, putting on a great race for us. Lots of divergence as well as great execution. So if you like what you're seeing, go ahead and give them a follow. Also want to take a moment to shout out our tracker Markham, helping us out and clicking all the buttons so I have the easy job. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. So Chelsea heading back into the Dark World. Let's see what they want to do now. as Top Life continues to push through Mire. So far, we're just finding some small change, except for that TR small key, which could be very useful. Chelsea, gonna head up. Looks like they're gonna grab the big bomb and open up the Pyramid Ferry. Alright, Top Life bowing out of Mire, not wanting to go ahead and finish this dungeon off. Gonna come over here and check the checkerboard cave and then see where they want to go ahead and head off to next. Checkerboard holding a small key to the Tower of Hera. Woof. Oh no. The Pyramid Ferry just holding onto the shovel, so just another fetch quest. That Tower of Hera small though is looks like it's gonna send Top Life back up the mountain to finish off Hera. That'll get them their flippers. Chelsea, having done the Pyramid Ferry, is going to check these Aga Tower items. Going to get their $25. Top Life going to use another one of the Herapot options to bomb himself in. Excellent job. Going to go ahead and run up to the top. Luckily, not going to go to the basement for that big key that we know is just blocking, I believe, the map. So, well chosen by them. I thought maybe with the way they were heading, they were just going to do the basement anyway, but going to be rewarded for not having to do that long cutscene. Right, Chelsea going to check out Checkerboard Cave. We'll see if they're interested in going into Mire at all, or if they're just going to explore other options. Top Life, on the other hand, a single slash and a spin, and down goes Moldorm. Going to pick up their 5th crystal and tie up the crystal count at 114.16. Top Life being on the mountain for the Tower of Hera, looks like they're going to stick around, head over to the east side, and open up Dark Death Mountain. We'll be able to check Super Bunny Cave, Hookshot Cave, and maybe get into TR and see what they can do in there. Well, it looks like Chelsea is just going to get into the front of Desert for now to check that small key. We'll see if they want to go into Mire or not. So just quick to get into Turtle Rock. So we have the medallion that we need to push through that. Well, there's the second castle tower small. We know we don't care about that. Top life is checked, the bumper ledge. Another key into pod. There are a couple items that got left behind. I have to assume for both the runners, any pod keys now are probably close to last locations. No one's going to want to go back there for those checks. Chelsea is going to make the call to go into Meyer. We'll hopefully continue and find their third TR small. There's the Swamp Palace small. And another pod small, wow. Top life, gonna get off the mountain. Gonna head down to a clearable or a full clearable swamp. Probably looking for that ice rod now. The only thing really blocking them from finishing, I believe, is just the ice rod. So yeah, for tempting TR, gotta go for a clearable swamp palace first. I could see the logic behind that. Especially if TR doesn't have what you need. I want to let chat know that I see your references to Fort Minor's great song, Remember the Name, and I appreciate it. And there's the 6 pod small. So, we are in a ice rod hunt for no mode, but also go mode for top live. Stop me if you've heard this one before. It's never happened before, ever, I'm sure. So top life, only needing one item to finish the seed, is just going to go ahead and head to the back, skip left side swamp for now. Being one item from go mode, this is a pretty common tactic of just assuming there's more items in the back. If it's there, you know, I don't have to do a terrible left side swamp. Maybe chat can help me out. Did Chelsea check that shovel and I miss it? Was there anything there? Chelsea making the choice to go back and finish Vinny. This is the green pendant, so there seems to be 2 items back here. This could be pretty big if the ice rod is one of them. Skip shovel for Meyer player. Okay, thank you, Top File. Alright, Top Life going to start their Argus fight. Using the hook shot to pull those puffs away, and a single tempered slash will take care of them. I expect this to be a pretty clean fight. Boss execution from both the runners has been pretty top tier today. Excellent. Quick kill of Argus. Well done. For just 20 bucks, so no Ice Rod yet. We'll see if Top Life wants to go in or not for the left side. I believe there's at least one item over there, if not two. As Chelsea has pushed through Meyer, is now going to head up against Vitreous. Has the silver arrow, so this should be a pretty clean fight. Top Life stopped and thought about it, decided, nope, better err on the side of caution. Going to head back in for left side swamp. Just getting the other key to Ice Palace off Vitreous, but does grab the green pendant. Chelsea gonna head into Desert. I think gonna grab the big chest. I'm wondering if they're gonna just finish off Landmo since they're here for the item. There is an item on Landmo, we know, but also just to protect against a potential pet play. They haven't checked it yet that I am aware of. Yeah, gonna go ahead to the back and finish off Landmo here for their second pendant, protecting against a pedestal play. We know that the ped, though logically required, is dead. I think a vanilla big key on left side swamp. Gonna have to head back to the big chest now for Top Life. And 3 quick silver arrows. Now goes Landmolus. Great fight for Chelsea, but only finding 50 bucks, grabbing their second pendant of the match, but not finding the items that they're looking for. And just 20 bucks, so Swamp Palace not the answer. Top Life gonna head. Go ahead and flute to 8. Looks like they're gonna go check their hobo check. This will grant them their silvers. As Chelsea checking the green pendant. Just for arrows. Misery Mire not the answer either. Yeah, I was worried maybe Chelsea would try to do Eastern Palace to play for the pedestal, but gonna head up to Dark Death Mountain. Obviously the better play. Even not knowing what we know, this is the better play just to play for the density. They're gonna grab their Swamp Small, see what they want to do about TR. As Top Life returns to the mountain, it's gonna be their TR dip now. Nice little hookshot clip through those blocks, making navigating Super Bunny a little bit easier. Alright, Chelsea grabbing their Swamp Small Key. We'll see if they want to dive into TR now or head down and finish off Swamp Palace like Top Life did. As Top Life returns to the portal, I'm going to go ahead and dive into TR, hopefully find their Ice Rod on the way, just on vacation in their home. Also grabbing the rest of their pod key collection and the other one to the Castle Tower. I'm sure super excited to see those. There's the small key to Thieves Town hanging out in TR. We know that that chest only has the map in it, so no worries there. So I would guess Top Life, only having 3 keys to TR, is probably going to steal the Poke Key and skip the Lava Chest in favor of density, and hopefully be able to get to Trinex should it come up. But, I mean, there are still some pretty terrible places that Ice Rod could be hanging out. Obviously, it could be in Lava Chest and needing the 4th TR key, which could just be in here. There are 2 chests left in Pod that it could just be sitting in. We still haven't seen the shovel check. The shovel being in Pyramid Ferry. So, there's a couple pretty terrible options out there still. Top Life trying to set up a spin to take care of this Poke, and it's just not cooperating at all. But eventually does get it, steals that key, and it's going to go ahead and continue through the dungeon, abandoning the Lava Chest, which is the right call. I think every random runner would be doing the same thing in this scenario. Oh, never mind. There's the Ice Rod sitting in the Mimic Cave. And at about 1:30:20, Top Life is in go mode. It's going to be able to finish this dungeon. I'm not sure what Top Life is looking for at this point. Oh, I guess maybe boots would be about the only thing that really is going to help him out. We know where the gold sword is, and he has silvers. Doesn't need a key. Yeah, that's actually true. Chat bring up a good point. We mentioned the boots possibly needing them. It's possible that the big key for GT is just sitting on the torch. So those boots still may be necessary. So not quite go mode. I called that a little bit early. I apologize. That would honestly be pretty terrible if that's where it's going to hang out and it's still a hunt. Chelsea grabbing their ice rod now. So Chelsea will be able to go mode Swamp Palace, but unless they start looking for boots as well. But down goes Trinex for top life. Another great boss fight from them. Gonna grab their 7th crystal, and I would expect to head right to GT. So, in Link to the Past Randomizer, we like to play a little game when we get to GT. Where is that big key at? There's 22 possible checks in the basement of GT for the big key to be hiding in. Go ahead and put a number in chat if you want to see if you can guess the right spot. There's a caveat that unless we find the boots, there's one spot we cannot check. So, we can at least see it though, so we'll count it if we see it. But we'll be going by top life's numbers as they'll be entering GT first. Alright, top life enters GT at 134 exactly, so let's see what happens. Looks like they're going to start with a hope room. Has plenty of small keys, so going to continue right here. As Chelsea enters the Trinex arena, I'm going to take on their turtle fight. We'll have to go ahead and head down and finish off Swamp Palace before they can get into GT, but it will be I would assume, a pretty quick clear. Don't think either runner's too worried about the torch 1 in 22 chance, or else they would have checked. I would assume they would have checked lava or laser bridge. So I expect a go mode swamp from Chelsea. Into the compass room. 3, no. 4, more bombs. And even more bombs. What were they planning? That was like the ordnance storage room. Holy hat. But still, at 6 checks, no big key yet. Here's the big one. And nope, not on the torch. So yeah, we are officially in go mode now. Oh, it didn't even matter. They were in the Stalfos room anyway. Right next to the big key. That was very generous of Ganon to put the boots right next to the big key. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think, yeah, I think it was number 10. Yeah, I'm sure Top Life is going to go ahead and head down to the library and grab his gold sword. I'm sure they feel like they need it at this point, now that they finally have those boots. Alright, as Chelsea goes into their swamp quick clear, Top Life, though, going to begin the gauntlet run. So it is It's top lives to lose, it seems. Oh, our tracker's got me covered, but go ahead and give a shout out to Hanazaki and Henri for their correct guess in the GT Big Key guessing game. Great job, you two. Yeah, and as we thought, Chelsea not even going to check any chests. They're just going to push right to the end of this dungeon and finish it off, going for the GT. Top left having to be a little careful in here. Out of magic now and down to a heart and a half. Not quite sure what's in their bottles. I think they have a bunch of greens, maybe. Nice job using that the cane for the fake powder with no magic to go ahead and powder that fairy. Well done. It's some good game knowledge there. Also going to check these diver down chests just in case the boots are sitting here. Not a bad play. They're right on the way and easy to grab. Yeah, lucky magic drop out of that whiz robe for top life. Easily take a couple seconds and grab that. Smart play. Oh, just barely missed that fire rod shot on Argus and catching the tip of the extended sword. So missing that quick kill. Gonna have to do a couple more spins. Alright, there we go. Argus down for Chelsea. He's gonna grab their 7th crystal, but top life already into Moldorm too. Oh, but Moldorm takes revenge and throws him off the platform. There, got him on the second try. Chelsea heading back up the mountain. Gonna head up to GT as top life begins their Aga 2 fight, indicating Dead Rocks, proving why they are the absolute worst. Oh, Aga cheating top life out of that last hit with that blue ball. But goes and gets it. 4 cycles, a nice par. So down goes Aga 2 for top life. Gonna go ahead and drop into their Ganon fight. Silvers, 13 hearts, blue mail, tempered sword, green in the bottles. Should be a pretty straightforward fight. Gets the nice double spin off the trident. Gonna go for the 1 cycle. Gets it. Excellent job. Now gonna invoke some nice dash strats. Another spin at the bottom as the circle goes out. You think Top Life has done this fight once or twice? Oh no, and I jinx him. I'm so sorry, Top Life. That's my fault. I'm sorry. I take responsibility for that one. That was too much hype. That was a really, really good start, though. Top Life gonna go for a little more conservative strat. I'm gonna use that hook shot to give him some iframes as the fire bats run around. Gonna pop that cape for safety. Excellent job. Yeah, you've got plenty of magic, so go ahead and do it. Forces phase 3. Chelsea does Hope Room, but Mirror's back to the front. Gonna head left. This is gonna save her a little bit of time not having to go to Compass Room. We'll find her big key and boots very shortly. Alright, Plug scanning with the first silver arrow. Waits for the torches to go out. Tries to set up for the triple. Great position. 1, 2. Oh, just barely doesn't get the triple. Ganon robs him of the triple, but still takes the last shot and goes down. Down goes the pig. Top Life holds up their sword. As long as they can cross the bridge, we'll be the winners of this race. As Chelsea starts their climb, get your GGs in chat. And there we go. GG's to Top Life. Finishing first place in this match with an official time of 1:43.27. Well done. Alright, Chelsea's going to start pushing through their climb. I'm going to go ahead and bounce over and take this restock room. It's a pretty good play, considering they only had 2 hearts, as we're joined in the booth by Top Life. Top Life, GG's, man. Well done. Congratulations on your win. You want to give us some thoughts on this race?
It was fine-ish. I was playing a little bit too safe at least there, trying to hold out for more points. As it was fine. I'm not sure where the last turning rocky is, so maybe holding out is the correct play.
Yeah, we only found 3. We never did find the 4th one, so can't help you with that one. I don't know where it's at either.
So I guess Chelsea also went into Meyer.
Yeah, so Chelsea went into Meyer shortly after you did, and then they went ahead and finished it. But Green Pendant and Vitreous items not really yielding anything. And then after that, they went into Desert and then finished it as well, knowing the Landmo had an item, but the same thing, it didn't lead to anything.
Yeah, it's not much help in this scene about trying to read logic. Pedestal was logical for Meyer, was a turn that's Meyer's.
Yeah, when you had read the pedestal and we saw the Skullwoods key there, we kind of like, well, logic's out the window now, so everything's gonna get a little bit weird.
Yeah. And I wasn't really sure which key it was. Like, I expected it to be a Skullwoods key, but since it was Dark Forest or something, so can't pod possibly the forest.
No, yeah, Dark Forest would be Skullwood, so you were correct.
So it's like, that's one thing I wish they could make the hints of it there in some places, instead of trying to be a tricky winner.
So you had checked the pedestal shortly after Skullwoods and seen that. Did that affect your choices not to go like finish Desert Palace knowing Landmo had an item, or finish Vitreous for the green pendant? Does knowing the ped was dead was like, all right, I don't. These are just checks I can skip.
Landmine I didn't finish because it was out of logic. As far as I can remember, I just remember I found the desert small key somewhere, which was deep in logic, but I couldn't remember where. I just expected it to be the Palace of Darkness, which might be wrong.
Yeah, the desert small key was in Ice Palace.
Ice Palace. Oh, no, it was me. Well, it would have been the same reason if I remember it was an Ice Palace. And Meyer I just skipped because I knew about pedestal logic, so that's the reasoning I skipped.
Right. Yeah, Chelsea never checked the pedestal, so she finished those 2 dungeons, and we thought maybe it was like banking against a ped play, but then shortly after that went to the mountain, got their swamp small, and then went into TR just as you were starting to go through it as well. So got their ice rod very shortly after you did, but still had to go down and finish swamp.
No. I was like thinking about how to save time in there, if I just go swamp or not, but then I realized I had made all the mirror checks. So if I just finish Swamp Palace, I can always save the portal. But then of course you have to make the awful choice of doing left side swamp. So it's debatable which is actually smarter in that position.
Yeah, that ice rod obviously can just be anywhere, so it's always that hard choice of, well, sometimes it's in TR, but what if it's not? So you did save yourself a push through TR a second time. But, I mean, you would have benefited from it for doing it anyway. So yeah, it's hard to say. It's this time it worked out, next time maybe it doesn't. But you made your choice and stuck with it, and it worked out great for you.
And also another point with saving the portal. I knew I could save the portal if Viceroy hadn't been at the rock, but I also looked at my map and saw I hadn't finished Desert Palace yet. And that is an awful check to do without mirroring. So I just hoped it wasn't on Desert, because then, I don't know, maybe I would have just killed the portal then.
Yeah, no, well done. How did you feel when you went into the Stalfos room and just saw the boots sitting right next to the big key? Like, oh, okay.
Well, I kind of expect them to be somewhere in GT. Wasn't that surprised. It was nice to finish it with boots. I'm not sure it did me much good. It wasn't the best GT climb anyways.
Yeah, I want to apologize. I feel like I cursed you a little bit when the start of your Ganon fight was really strong, and I was talking it up pretty well for how good it was, and then you took that unfortunate bat and died. I'm like, that's completely my fault. I totally jinxed him.
Yeah, that was my mistake. I accidentally missed a dash, and then I knew that I couldn't take too far above hits, but if I hit it with the sword, it's just an RNG if I get hit by a bat or not. So I shouldn't have taken that hit, I should have just switched the cape and take the hit then. But yeah, that's a lesson learned for another time.
And as Chelsea Lane crosses the bridge and finishes their Ganon fight at 150.05, get your GGs in chat for Chelsea, finishing this scene up in second place. Yeah, overall, we were commenting throughout that item placement really wasn't terrible throughout this scene. You guys had plenty of options early. Another cause that was of a little divergence in the beginning was you had fished out that one bomb out of that. Oh, as we welcome Chelsea into the booth. GG's.
Oh, GG's.
Did
That was fun. I actually enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy going into Mire, but other than that, no, it was an enjoyable seed.
Well, going into Mire may have helped out a little bit with that third TR key that you guys ended up needing, so...
Oh, was it in Mire? I thought it was in Checkerboard.
No, the Checkerboard was...
Was that a
Checkerboard was the
GT
tower.
key?
No, it's Tower of Hera.
Yeah. Oh, Hera key. Okay, I got it mixed up. I got in my brain. I was all like, oh man. Okay, that makes a lot more sense then. For some reason, I thought the key was in checkerboard. I don't remember. My brain goes into a fuzz. So.
It was so long ago. Who can remember that long ago?
It was literally years ago.
So, Chelsea, I'll give you a chance. Just go ahead and give your initial thoughts on this seed.
Oh, well, again, I liked it. There wasn't a single point where I was struggling on what to do. There was always, you know, something to do, which I always like in seeds. I hate when I'm struggling to grasp at what I want to do. I kind of had a very clear path throughout the entire seed. I just wish I went up the mountain a bit earlier than I did. But again, I guess if that Turtle Rock key was in Meyer, then I'm not too upset about everything I did then.
Yeah, and both of you had gone into Meyer as well, so...
Yeah, okay. But did Top Light finish it? It doesn't look like it did on the tracker.
No, they got through the initial front checks and then bounced out.
Yeah, that's smart. That's the smart thing to do. I was just, I didn't check the ped after Skullwoods, and I was like, whoops, well, if that's something. And then just after finishing Meyer, I'm like, well, desert's right here. Let's just go poke Lammo a bit and because I was still looking for the swamp key, and yeah, I don't know. That swamp key drives me nuts sometimes.
Yeah, and funny story about that pedestal. It was logically required because it was the third Skullwoods key.
Main reason I skipped to the boss.
Yeah, Top Life had checked that after Skullwoods and known that it was dead. And so that was kind of the reason they had skipped some of those pendant bosses that you went and finished.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Not a big deal. Logic, I probably, even if I had read that, I don't think my little potato brain would have been able to work out that I didn't need to finish Meyer or Desert, so that's okay.
Yeah, the other thing that was really kind of diverging in the beginning was farming that one bomb out of that terrible prize pack on the rats.
Don't even remind me. I couldn't get it. It just didn't want to, so I had to.
It was super deep.
I had to improvise. I knew it was in that pack, which is why I kept killing them, and I just wasn't getting drops. So I don't know if it's because I was poking them on accident. I don't know how many I accidentally poked, rather than slashed in half.
Yeah, it would have taken all the rats in both of the sewer rooms.
Both of the sewer rooms.
Yeah. So it was just didn't chase them enough to find the other one because they went kind of scattered.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm still not super upset about that. It kind of worked out anyways. Kinda. Not really. It didn't feel like a huge punishment. I made it work.
It's like a lot of other standard C7 racing. I have been god-awful luck with drops on rat packs. But now when I just splashed the first rat pack and I saw 4 drops or something, I was just, let's keep going.
Yeah. I should have killed more rats. Oh well.
Well, but you mentioned out that it doesn't really hurt you, and you're actually kind of right in that regard, that it forced you to go to Eastern to get that hook shot early.
Exactly.
So when you went to Hera, you were able to finish it immediately.
Yep.
To get that, to get your flippers, which gave you a small advantage in that regard. So it actually didn't hurt you that badly.
Yeah, I didn't feel, like I said, I didn't feel punished by it because I found that hook shot and being able to go up the mountain as soon as I found the flute. I was able to just, check the bomb checks that I didn't get, and then go right up the mountain. So yeah, I wasn't kicking myself for anything that happened. I really thought that it was going well, especially after finding that stupid ice rod.
Oh yeah, that just, of course, it's just up there near TR, right?
I had a feeling. It was just one of those, you get those little buzzing feelings in your head, and usually I don't listen to those because I'm usually wrong, but today I was right. So
yeah, both of you had great execution.
Smile.
Your boss fights were on point.
Mine was not.
Oh, I saw that cold stare fight with the Master Sword. Don't start. I was watching the whole time.
Yeah, but I cheated with a blue potion. It was It was
Using safeties is not cheating. Let's just be clear, or else my whole game is dead.
No, I wasn't super happy with my boss execution, but thank you. I'm also very cynical of myself. If I don't do things flawlessly, I'm all like, well, that was horrible.
I think as runners, we all just assume our opponents are perfect. So, but great job, Top Life and Great Name Pending, evening up the score, forcing at least a game 4. So your guys' matches against each other continues.
Yay.
So, genius to both of you. Good luck to your teams as you continue on. Any final thoughts on this seed?
No, just good luck, Top Life, and the rest of his team.
Good luck to you too.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much also for consenting to be restreamed and giving up your time to put on a show for us. We appreciate it. I want to shout out our tracker, Markham, once again, doing the work of the Lord, so I can have the easy job. Shout outs and thanks to chat for keeping me straight. I know there was a couple times we had some good discussion about logic and some things going on. So as always, appreciate you being the second and third and 200th set of eyes for me. Appreciate it. If you like what you saw, and you should because it was a great race, go ahead and consider giving these runners a follow. And if you enjoyed some of this randomizer, there's plenty more races today as the open playoffs continue. The Invitational League still on break until Monday, but starting on Monday, the Invitational playoffs will start, and plenty more good rando to come. So continue keeping an eye on the SpeedGaming and the SpeedGaming series of channels for more rando and more playoffs. I am Talon116. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thanks, everyone. Until next time.